Welcome to the deep dive. Today, we're jumping into multi-channel marketing. It's this force that's, well, quietly but really powerfully reshaping how businesses connect with you.
Mhm.
So what is it exactly? Basically, it's a smart way companies use, a mix of channels to talk to people.
Right. Direct and indirect channels.
Exactly. Think websites, email, apps, social media, even like actual physical stores. It's about connecting all those dots.
Yeah.
And the idea is simple, really. Make your experience better, get the brand seen more, and, well, get more conversions by being where you already are.
And what's really interesting here, I think, is that this isn't just some fleeting trend. It feels like a fundamental shift,
Yeah.
how value is created and exchanged now.
Right.
It's all driven by this huge digital transformation push and, frankly, a growing demand for marketing tools that feel more personal.
Okay.
So our mission for this deep dive is really to unpack the growth path of this global market,
Yeah.
see what's really driving it.
Okay, let's unpack this then. Let's get right into the global numbers because they are pretty staggering. The scale is just huge.
Mhm.
So cognitive market research says the global multi-channel marketing market was worth a solid $61 billion back in 2021.
Right. 61 billion.
Now, check this out. It's projected to almost double to nearly $111 billion by 2025.
Wow. Okay.
And here's where it gets really interesting. It's in forecast to just explode, really, soaring to an incredible $366 billion by 2033.
366 billion? That's massive.
Yeah, and that means a strong compound annual growth rate, the CAGR, of just over 16% during that whole period.
And that 16% CAGR, that tells you a lot. It's not just a blip.
No.
It signals this consistent, accelerating investment. It really shows a fundamental change in global commerce. Businesses are realizing they have to get good at weaving together all these different customer touch points.
So it's becoming essential.
Absolutely. And for you as a consumer, means your interactions with brands, they'll feel more, well, seamless and joined up, whether you're clicking online or walking into a store.
That really drives home the global aspect, doesn't it? But, okay, beyond just the big numbers, what's actually causing this explosion? Is it tech? Is it how we behave as consumers? Or, something else?
It's definitely a mix of all three. You've got technology, for sure. Things like AI and data analytics are making hyper-personalization real, at scale.
Right. Tailoring messages.
Exactly, across channels in ways we just couldn't do a few years back.
Yeah.
Then you've got the rise of these direct-to-consumer brands, the DTC ones.
Ah, yeah, born digital.
Born digital, inherently multi-channel, and crucially, our behavior as consumers has shifted. We just expect brands to be everywhere we are, social, email, stores,
And consistent.
and we expect it to be consistent, yeah. The big challenge, of course, is getting all those different systems and data points to actually talk to each other smoothly.
So it's not just being on channels, it's making them work together intelligently.
Got it. Okay, that makes sense. Now let's shift gears a bit. Let's break down these huge global figures by region.
Good idea.
Let's see where the growth is really packed in and how it looks across the world, starting with, well, what seems like a major engine here.
Absolutely. And North America really does stand out. It's a leading region. Its market was valued over $20 billion back in 2021.
20 billion, okay.
And projected to hit almost $37 billion by 2025, and then eventually reaching nearly $118.5 billion by 2033.
Wow, 118.5 billion. That's huge.
It is. And within North America, the U.S. is, well, it's the powerhouse, takes the lion's share. But you also see really significant, steady growth from Canada and Mexico, too.
Right.
The region really benefits from, strong digital infrastructure already being in place and a very online consumer base.
Okay. Now, moving across the pond, Europe is also showing really strong numbers in multi-channel marketing, right?
Definitely. Europe's market was over $16.7 billion in 2021. Okay, $16.7 billion.
Projected to climb to almost 30 billion by 2025 and then surge past 94.5 billion by 2033.
94.5 billion. So that's another massive chunk of the global market. Really shows strong adoption there, too.
It does. What's interesting in Europe is how widespread it is.
Yeah.
Big economies like Germany, France, the UK, they're all seeing huge growth.
Right.
It shows this strategy is really being embraced right across the board. But also countries like Italy, Russia, Spain, they're showing very strong growth.
Right.
And then you've got solid contributions from the Nordics, Switzerland. It just highlights how deeply these multi-channel strategies are getting embedded in those established European markets.
Oh, all right. And now let's look at Asia Pacific. I keep hearing this region is not just growing, it's like accelerating like crazy.
Oh, absolutely. Asia-Pacific scale is something else.
Yeah.
The market hit over $15.5 billion in 2021.
15.5 billion, okay.
Expected to jump to over $29 billion by 2025, and then really speed up to over $101.5 billion by 2033.
Over 100 billion. Just in APAC? That's a powerhouse.
It really is. It's driven by those huge populations and incredibly fast digitalization, especially, a mobile-first approach in many places.
Right, mobile's key there.
Very key. China's obviously a massive contributor set for staggering growth. Japan's also major. But what's really striking is India.
India, okay.
The growth projections there through 2033 are incredibly strong, almost exponential.
Wow.
And then you add in South Korea, Australia, the fast-growing Southeast Asian economies. They're all making big contributions. It just shows how dynamic the adoption is there, sometimes even leapfrogging older tech.
Fascinating. Okay, next up, South America, a region you described as having emerging momentum.
That's right. Still growing significantly. Their market was over $3.5 billion in 2021.
Okay, 3.5 billion.
Increasing to almost $6.6 billion by 2025, and projected to grow to over $22.5 billion by 2033.
22.5 billion, so still significant growth.
Definitely. Across South America, Brazil is really leading the charge, showing big investment in this area. But countries like Argentina and Colombia are also showing, pretty robust growth. It just demonstrates this shift really is global. It's gaining serious traction in developing and emerging markets, too, as businesses try to connect with these rapidly digitizing populations.
Makes sense. And now, the Middle East, also seeing a significant rise, I gather.
Yes, another region with notable growth. The market there was valued at over $1.6 billion in 2021.
1.6 billion.
Forecast to hit just over $3 billion by 2025, and then grow further to almost $11 billion by 2033.
Okay, nearly 11 billion.
And what's interesting there is the accelerated growth across quite diverse economies within the region. You've got Saudi Arabia, Turkey, the UAE as major contributors.
Right.
They're showing significant year-on-year increases.
Yeah.
It really points to the region's investment in digital infrastructure and this strategic focus on better consumer engagement, especially in those rapidly modernizing economies.
Got it. Okay, so to round out our world tour, let's look at Africa. The numbers there were almost 3 billion in 2021.
Just under, $2.9 billion in 2021.
Okay. And expected to increase to over 5.4 billion by 2025, and then a sharp rise to over 18.3 billion by 2033. That's a really steep climb. Huge potential.
Absolutely. Within Africa, Nigeria and South Africa are really leading the way. Both show substantial growth projected ahead.
Okay.
These figures, they really highlight the massive untapped potential and the rapid digital adoption that's happening across the continent. It makes Africa a really crucial area to watch for future growth in this space, as more and more consumers get access to digital platforms and services.
So wrapping this all together, what's the big takeaway for you, the listener? I mean, the trend seems crystal clear, exponential growth, not just globally, but pretty much across every single region we looked at.
Exactly.
Multi-channel marketing isn't just like a nice to have anymore. It feels like it's becoming a critical, fundamental strategy for businesses everywhere trying to connect with modern consumers.
If you zoom out a bit, it's obvious that this imperative to meet consumers right where they are and do it with personalized, seamless interactions, that's what's driving this enormous investment. This strategy is quickly shifting from being, a way to get ahead to just being table stakes.
Just necessary to compete.
Pretty much.
Yeah.
A basic necessity for doing business successfully in this digital age. It's all about making that customer journey as smooth and, intuitive as possible.
It's truly massive growth and happening so quickly, which leads to a final thought, maybe something for you to mull over. Given this incredible scale, this rapid adoption of multi-channel marketing everywhere, what might this explosive growth mean for, say, our individual privacy?
That's a big question. And tied to that, what about the strategic use of all the data that makes this personalization possible?
Right. How does that evolve?
And maybe even how does this change the very nature of consumer choice itself? As businesses get better and better, more sophisticated at reaching us through literally every channel available.
Definitely something to think about long after this deep dive.
Welcome, curious minds, to another deep dive. Today, we're plunging into something that, it really touches all of our lives, often without us even noticing it. Multi-channel marketing. It's essentially about how businesses are trying to connect with us, the consumer, wherever we happen to be, whenever we want to be reached.
Exactly. And for this deep dive, we're looking at excerpts from multi-channel marketing. trends, challenges, and future directions. Our goal here is really to sift through that and pull out the most important nuggets, trying to understand this rapid transformation and how brands are actually talking to us. It's a really dynamic field.
It absolutely is. So our mission today is to really get a handle on what modern consumers expect now. And the technology is driving this, the hurdles businesses face because it's not easy. And yeah, what the future might hold for how brands communicate. I mean, think about it yourself. You browse something on Instagram, right? Do you now sort of automatically expect maybe a follow-up email with a discount? And then maybe you want to finish buying it super easily on an app. That whole path should feel connected, effortless almost.
Okay, let's unpack this. So it feels like we're way beyond just, let's send out more emails or run another ad. What do you see as the real engine behind this whole multi-channel shift? Is it mostly consumer behavior driving it, or is it something else?
Well, it's definitely a fundamental shift, and it's really driven by both things working together, consumer behavior and these powerful new tools. But the main driver, yeah, it's the modern consumer, especially digital natives like millennials and Gen Z. They just have completely different expectations. They demand what we're calling the omni-channel expectation, basically synchronize consistent interactions across every single touch point. And this isn't just about convenience. The purpose is boosting brand recall, upping engagement, and really cutting down on customer churn. We're seeing sectors like retail, banking, entertainment. They're investing heavily in creating these unified experiences.
Right, unified experiences. And making that actually happen relies on the how, which is this huge rise in marketing technologies, or MarTech. When we talk MarTech, what are these tools really doing? What are they enabling that wasn't possible before?
Yeah, the sophistication is the key takeaway. We're talking big players, Salesforce Marketing Cloud, Adobe Experience Cloud, HubSpot, Klaviyo, names you probably hear a lot. But what's really insightful isn't just what they do, like tracking journeys, automating campaigns, personalizing messages, analyzing results in real time. It's how they're changing marketing from just reacting to, well, predicting. We're moving beyond just responding to what customers do to actually trying to anticipate their next move. So imagine a retail brand using AI for segmentation. Someone browses, and that single action could trigger, say, a push notification, then maybe a follow-up SMS, and even a YouTube retargeting ad later, all working together smoothly. These technologies have really democratized access to quite advanced marketing capabilities, makes multi-channel possible for almost anyone.
And besides the tech itself, there's a big money factor too, right? That surge in digital ad spending. It's massive. It's completely dwarfed traditional media spending in a lot of places. Is that just throwing more money at ads, or is there a smarter strategy going on?
Oh, it's definitely a deeper strategy. Brands are spreading their ad money across way more channels now. Think Instagram, TikTok, YouTube, Google search, programmatic display ads. They know you, the customer, are consuming content everywhere all day long. The crucial part is weaving together the paid, owned, and earned media into one coherent story. Like, you might see a product video first as a paid ad on social media. Then maybe it gets shared in an email newsletter. And later you see it embedded in a blog post or on a landing page. This diversification lets brands stay top of mind and kind of nudge our decisions at different points in our journey. It's about building that consistent narrative wherever you bump into the brand.
Okay, it sounds almost perfect, doesn't it? Seamless, perfectly targeted marketing.
Oh.
But we know it's not that easy. What are the real roadblocks?
Got it.
The main hurdles companies hit when they try to actually do this multi-channel thing properly.
Yeah, a really big one is data integration. Companies often, really often, struggle to pull together information from all their different platforms. Their email system, the CRM database, social listening tools, the e-commerce site. These are what we call data silos. And they make it incredibly hard to build an accurate picture of a customer or run campaigns that actually feel connected. What's often missed here is that these silos don't just cause operational headaches. They actively stop companies from seeing the messy, real customer journey. They're blind to key moments. It's like trying to, navigate a forest with half the map missing. For example, you might get the same offer twice, maybe email and SMS, or worse, different prices on different channels. And for big companies, their old legacy systems can make adopting new cloud-based or AI tools really tricky. It's actually fascinating how often the tech capability moves faster than the organization's ability to, use effectively.
That data integration struggle sounds fundamental, a real blocker. And then layered on top of that, you've got the whole complex world of privacy. How does regulation fit in? What impact does that have?
Regulation adds a huge layer of complexity. You've got global rules like GDPR in Europe, CCPA in California, LGPD in Brazil. They set really strict standards for handling data. So marketers absolutely have to make sure they capture and respect customer consent across every single platform. Just imagine trying to track consent for one person across email, an app, maybe even a physical store visit, all while juggling different international laws. It's like walking a legal and tech tightrope. And one slip up, one breach in just one channel could seriously damage brand trust everywhere. So putting in place consent management platforms and privacy-first practices is now essential. But yeah, that takes significant resources and legal help, especially if you operate internationally.
So you got tech challenges, regulatory hurdles.
Yeah.
What about the people, the human element? Are companies finding it easy to get the teams they need for this kind of complex stuff?
Right. That's another tough one, particularly for small and medium-sized enterprises, the SMEs. To do multi-channel well, you need teams with different skills working together. SEO experts, email marketers, content creators, analytics people. Smaller businesses often just don't have all those specialized roles, and that can lead to fragmented strategies, maybe inconsistent branding, and just missed opportunities. Outsourcing to agencies is an option, of course, but that adds cost and maybe means less direct control over the message and the whole customer experience. It's a tricky balance.
Okay, so looking forward then, what are the really powerful trends emerging now? The things reshaping how brands are trying to reach us? This is where it gets really interesting, I think.
Yeah, definitely. One of the biggest is AI-driven personalization. Brands are using AI to crunch behavioral data and deliver super targeted content. That means things like recommending products based on what you bought before, or sending personalized discounts exactly when you're most likely to engage. It's moving beyond just grouping people to actually predicting individual preferences. We're also seeing AI chatbots pop up everywhere, on websites, WhatsApp, providing 24/7 support, but also cleverly capturing data for remarketing. It kind of blurs the line between service and sales.
And what about all our different devices? Our phones, laptops, tablets, TVs?
Yeah.
How are brands keeping track as we jump between them?
Right. That leads us to cross-device journey mapping. We all switch between devices constantly, right? Smartphone, laptop, tablet, maybe a smart TV. So there are advanced tools now, identity resolution tools, device graphing, that let marketers kind of stitch together all those fragmented interactions into one single user journey. So maybe a travel company sees you search for flights on your phone. They can use cookies and app data to then send you an email with a discount if you haven't booked after a certain time. It's all about recognizing you, the same person, across all your different touch points, even if you're using different gadgets.
And what about how we actually talk to our devices now? Voice assistants and all that. How's that changing marketing?
Yes. Voice and conversational interfaces. They're really changing the game, defining new marketing channels. Think Alexa, Google Assistant, Siri, but also platforms like Facebook Messenger, WhatsApp Business, WeChat. These are all key touch points now. So brands are busy optimizing content for voice search. How you ask a question matters. And they're building conversational experiences so you can get product info, place orders, or get support just by talking or typing naturally. It's much more interactive, less friction, or real dialogue.
So with all this change happening so fast, who are the main players making all this happen? Who's shaping this multi-channel marketing space?
It's quite an interesting mix, really. You've got the creative powerhouses on one side and the MarTech enablers on the other. On the creative side, think big agencies like BBDO, Ogilvy and Mather, Droga5, Whedon plus Kennedy, Mullen Advertising. They're the ones crafting the big integrated campaigns, blending great storytelling with data-driven targeting. And they often team up with tech companies to actually execute it all. Then on the tech side, you have all those firms racing to embed even more automation, better analytics, smarter AI into their platforms. They need to stay competitive and show clients real ROI. It's really a collaborative ecosystem. You need both the creativity and the technology working hand in hand.
Wow, what a journey we've covered. It's so clear from our chat that multi-channel marketing is all about this collision of rapid digital change, rising consumer expectations, and just constant tech innovation. It really is this convergence of creativity and data, isn't it? All aimed at meeting us, the customers, wherever we are, different devices, different platforms, different moments. Sounds like a marketer's dream. Or maybe a bit of a nightmare trying to coordinate it all.
It's definitely complex, no doubt. But just to reinforce the main point, success really comes down to an organization's ability to handle that complexity. Plus, ensuring they're compliant with all the privacy rules and consistently delivering those personalized, joined-up experiences that actually build loyalty over time. If you zoom out, look at the bigger picture. It's really about building trust in what feels like an increasingly complicated digital world. Every single interaction matters now.
So thinking about all this,
Yeah.
what does it mean for you listening right now? As consumers, how will our own expectations keep pushing brands to evolve in this super connected AI-powered world? And maybe what new channels might pop up that we can't even imagine today? Where else will brands try to reach us? Definitely something to think about next time you're shopping online, or maybe even just asking your voice assistant for the weather.